Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. This is the AEW Dynamite review for the 16th of February 2022. This is a huge announcement to start the show. CM Punk is amazing, and it shows that when you're taught how to work rather than perform, there's valuable nature to that. CM Punk with MJF match announcement for the next pay-per-view. Punk seated in the ring opens the show. He starts that my name is CM Punk and I'm better than you. He discusses his impact on the wrestling business, specifically how he influenced young wrestlers on the AEW roster. He changes his attention to MJF, says he's not mad that he lost. I'm proud of you, he says, but MJF isn't Piper or Brett. He's just a guy in the ring and help. Thanks to the assist from John Moxley last week, Punk now gets to pick the time and place to take on MJF, and that'll be at AEW Revolution 2022. What kind of match should it be? Maybe it should be cage. And if MJF wants to be Piper so bad, Punk's thinking a dog collar match, and he subsequently pulls a dog collar out of the box to end MJF come out. MJF emerges, but before he could say anything, Punk produces a famous photo with him and a childhood match, or Max. And this is the best day of MJF's life. Revolution will be the worst day. The canvas will be stained with his blood. MJF pauses, drops the mic, and storms out. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Christian Cage are backstage. There's going to be a couple matches coming up to determine the number one contenders for the Tag Team Championships, which will be defended in a three-way at Revolution. Jungle Boy loves a good three-way, and Christian said things would get interesting in the division. Video recapping Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Young Wrestlers storyline. Bryan Danielson defeats Lee Mariarty. Obviously, this is Moriarty's best outing probably of his career. Danielson offers a handshake but pulls it away. Moriarty is about to accept. They wrestle around. Danielson slaps Moriarty across the jaw, and then Danielson locks on the Romero special before turning it into a modified Dragon Sleeper. Moriarty counters and goes for a Border City toss stretch, but Danielson then reaches the ropes and slaps Moriarty again. Uppercut from Moriarty sends Danielson to the floor. Danielson's then able to arrive and dive and tie Moriarty in the ropes for yes kicks. Danielson continues dominating through the commercial break. Once back from the break, there is a headstand leg lock strike battle between the two. Moriarty gets forced into the ropes again. Moriarty then comes with a comeback and hits the back suplex and then trades uppercuts until Moriarty rolls Danielson up with a backslide for a 2 count. Danielson lands another strong right hand, but Moriarty fires back with the repeated strikes until he runs into a rolling elbow. Belly to back suplex from Moriarty gets a 2 count. Pin attempt is immediately transcended into Moriarty's Border City stretch, but Danielson powers out and hits a backdrop suplex and then Bushido knee. Danielson then knocks Moriarty's head into a triangle for the ref stoppage. Post-match, Danielson said he came out here to teach Moriarty a thing or two about violence. He wants to team up with Moxley to teach young wrestlers and demands an answer. Moxley makes his way to the entrance a while ago. At an indie show, Moxley was hungry young lion who took a chance taking on Bryan Danielson. Moxley fought tooth and nail but came up short. But taking on the best just made him want more. Now Danielson doesn't want to fight him. He says he wants to join forces. They could create a dynasty of pure, unimagined wrestling violence, and they could take young guys along with them. Moxley couldn't think of a reason to say no, but maybe. The only reason Danielson wants to stand by his side is because he doesn't want to stand across from Moxley. Moxley then doesn't stand side by side with anybody until he bleeds with them first. There's a Keith Lee video promo. He said this first one to qualify for the Face the Revolution ladder match. He had come to AEW to make a statement. Phase 1 is done. Ladder match is Phase 2. And then when he's done with that, TNT Championship will be his. Face the Revolution qualifier. Wardlow with Shawn Spears defeats Max Caster with Anthony Bowens. And then Bowens grabs Wardlow's boot right away, leading to a commercial. During the break, Wardlow suplexes Caster all over the ring and on the floor and avoids a spear, sets Wardlow up into the steel steps. Upon return, Wardlow is hit by a chain behind the referee's back. Wardlow then hits 3 power bombs and a powerbomb sympathy for the win. After the match, Bowens immediately attacks Wardlow, who powerbombs him in return. Spears hits the Acclaimed with chair shots. Britt Baker, Mercedes Martinez, and company backstage. Baker tells Martinez to finish the job tonight. She says, best squad and the best sense. Karate, Best Sente, Martin Cove, in full John Kreese attire, walks up in for a cameo. Hangman Page speaks. Shivani asked Page about violent match and Archer. Before he could say anything, Adam Cole interrupts and comes out. He tells the crowd to applaud Page and put over the battles they've been having. Cole told Shivani to get out of the ring. Cole then begins a world champion. He's been a world champion everywhere he's gone. It's a shame that Page's reign is going to have to come to an end soon. Page asks Cole how it felt to see his friends build a wrestling empire without him. AEW World Championship is the only world championship Cole will never hold. In the time Cole was gone, Page blossomed into a great champion, but the reality is he's always just been known as the other Adam. Page is about to square up, but then Adam Cole says he has respect and adoration for him. Someday they'll fight for the AEW Championship, and when that day comes, may the best man win. Cole's music played, and then he walked off. Page is then attacked from behind by Red Dragon. Cole, O'Reilly, and Fish beat down Page until security comes up with a Dark Order coming out to break it up. Segment ends. Tene attacking all the security guards and tosses one of them over the top ropes into a pile on the outside. Video promo hyping Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin. For the match, Eddie Kingston came out in Santana Ortiz corner man. Santana Ortiz, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager. This is the worst part of the show, honestly. Santana goes right at Jericho from the start, laying in a bunch of strikes. Standing moonsault from Ortiz. Got Jericho, he gets nailed with a facebuster, tagging in Hager, who beats down Ortiz before hitting Hager with a Hager bomb for a near fall. And then once back, clothesline from Ortiz allows him to reach Santana for the hot tag. He then runs wild. Hager then gets run into a code breaker from Jericho, followed by a spine buster from Hager for 2 count. Jericho hits a running bulldog, but Ortiz then is out for the lion salt. Then they hit a street sweeper on Jericho for a near fall. Jericho counters corner cannonball into the lion salt. Kingston urges Santana towards the ropes, and he eventually reaches them. Jericho takes over Kingston with a springboard dropkick, but Santana avoids the Judas effect and hits a discus lariat on Jericho for the win. After the match, Jericho goes right after Kingston, but they're separated by the referee. The Elite are backstage. Cole said Jay White would beat Trent Beretta and the 2 tag teams would win the Battle Royals. Young Bucks and Red Dragon argued about who would win and about the fatherhood, but Cole calmed everyone down. Then, no disqualification match. Thunder Rosa defeats Mercedes Martinez. Rosa uses a chair and a steel pipe and snatches it out of Martinez's hand on the floor. Martinez then sends Rosa into the steps, and produces a couple of chairs. Rosa then comes back by sending Martinez through the barricade into the ringside area, but they brawl out into the crowd. Rosa jumps off the railing, and Martinez comes out with the crossbody ahead of break. During commercial, Rosa produces a trash can and table, which she sets up on the floor. Once back, Martinez hits a Fisherman Buster through a table, which really doesn't break. Martinez then wants an avalanche powerbomb, but Rosa turns it into a Frankensteiner before hitting a dropkick through the trash can. Martinez goes off for the 2. Rosa then climbs the ropes, but cuts off the shot from the trash can lid. Martinez then hits a spider German suplex off the top, followed by a top rope elbow drop for a near fall. Rosa then comes back with a crucifix bomb and then hits the Fire Thunder Driver on the pile of chairs for the win. After the match, Rosa shoved Martinez respect, but Britt Baker comes out to orders her to be finished. The attack on Rosa, Martinez comes up with the attack, and then Martinez hesitated. Jamie Hayter attacked her. Baker poses with the belt and the segment. Malachi Black cuts a cryptic promo. Brody King asks what they're waiting for, and Black responds history. And then Rampage for 218. Adam Cole 10, Jay White, Trent Beretta, Serena Deeb 5-minute challenge, Face of the Revolution qualifier, Hobbs and Martin, 223, House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, Death Triangle, Penta, and Pac, Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho face to face, Tag Team Battle Royal for the top contendership. Jay White said he'd show all of AEW to breathe with the Switchblade because it's still his era. I'm not a Jay White fan, but it's there. Anyway, TNT Championship, Sammy Guevara defeats Darby Allin. Decent match with a bad finish, showing respect early. There are dueling chants, which means that the characters aren't really over. They're just kind of there in a cosplay sort of way. Early on, they fight for position top rope. Guevara then just drops Allin over the top turnbuckle, sending him crashing into the floor. Guevara then follows up with a rope hanging senton bomb ahead of the commercial. Too many spots. Anyway, Allin hits a series of coffin splashes and goes after the knee of Guevara, making the knee the target for a good bit of time. Guevara then comes up with the Tree of Woe and then manages to get a 2 count. Allin counters springboard dropkick into a figure 4 leg lock and then gets a 2 count. Trying to ease the pressure in the meantime, they set up the legs, tie in exchange, slaps. Then they counters each other's big moves until Allin locks on the Last Supper cradle for near fall and then hits the float over, sending Guevara into the floor. Guevara then countered Allin's dive with a cutter on the floor. Back in the ring, Guevara then goes top rope senton bomb on the apron, but Allin moves out of the way and Guevara crushed his hand. Allin then sends Guevara for the coffin drop to the back, but Andrade assists. Jose comes out and gets on the apron. Sting chases him off, but Andrade uses a distraction to whack Allin with an iPad. Guevara hits the go to hospital for the win. Post-match, Matt Hardy runs down to beat Allin, but Guevara chases him off, and Andrade whacked him with the iPad and walks off with the TNT Championship to end the show. Really, really hoping Andrade doesn't win that title because it's not good for business. Andrade not over enough to be a champion on a national product in my estimation. But anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.